there is that the only government to restructure the police force from the grassroots.
Nigeria has many millions of graduates on the street working aimlessly.
Considering the height of insecurity in Nigeria, considering the height of the downfall in the educational system, now is the time for Nigerians to rise up and speak up. Now is the time for Nigerians to take the bull by the horn. On the Point Man Show, we'll be looking at issues concerning economy, society, and politics in Nigeria. Of course, the grassroots development can never be overemphasized. Join us on the Point Man Show with Pelumi Bolawa. Good day, you're welcome to another edition of The Point Man. And today we are with a journalist and of course a media consultant at that. Yes, he's a big man in the industry. Yes, he writes big stories, interesting stories, feature stories. Of course, from that human interest angle that you always desire to read from. It is good to have Ayodeji Ake with me. Ayodeji, you're welcome.
Normally, you are meant to pay for the name because the name is not Ake, it's Ake. I'm
Ake.
pardoning you for today.
Okay, yes, that has actually become a cliche in a lot of people's mouth. All right, Ake. Okay, you're welcome to the Point Man.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, yes. Today we want to look at issues of the media and electioneering process. What role exactly does the media play when it comes to election period? All right, let me ask you, Ayodeji. We are in the period where the election is at the campaign level. Politicians are beginning to knock on doors. They are beginning to prostrate. They are beginning to campaigns, 2 million march, 5 million march. In this period, what exactly are the roles of the media?
First, I think I need to say a big thank you for inviting me. Come here to come and say one or two. It's not as if I know everything, but I'm still going to say one or two I know. But it's just a juxtaposition of two things. We're talking about the media, we're talking about the election. You get. So it's about we understanding the media first, election on its own, and trying to merge the two keywords. But media, obviously the function of the media outside the election is just very simple: to inform, to educate, to entertain, for surveillance purposes, and so many other functions. But most importantly, to inform the public. Now, it's we can argue that the media have access to information. The part of accessing the information and interpreting the information to a large heterogeneous audience is what is key here. So the media will inform in all ways, in all ramifications. Now, election. There is no way we want to talk about election without talking about democracy. Democracy birth election. They are two side coins. So election is just, simply put, is when in Nigeria that is 18 years and above have the right to vote and to be voted for in the election process. Now, when we try to merge the two keywords, the media trying to expose the process of election, trying to educate the public on their civil rights, on what the Constitution, the 1999 Constitution with Amendment 2011 had said about you having the right to vote and be voted for. Trying to educate the public the process of election, trying to give platforms for candidates, political candidates to debate, to express themselves, to present their mandates and manifestos, and they can't do that in their room. They can't do that in their car. They will definitely go to the media, who has the power to reach out to a large audience. From there. So those are the functions of media. The media, not only for the candidates, also needs to to table the voice of the electorate, the voters. Those are the functions of the media too. So When you're saying media in election, as we approach 2023, the media have a lot to do. The media is shouldering so many things. Like one, they need to inform. How many people know that? How many people know that the election, the 2023 general election is February 25th? Through the media, they will know. How many people know that every candidate or every political party have 150 days to campaign according to the section 9 subsection 1 of the Electoral Act? Through the media, they will know. The media will also give the platforms, the political gladiators, to come on here, organize, programs, debates, tell us, why do you want to be the president? It's through the media all these things are happening. And the media they're also shouldering the responsibility of educating the public that, see, you have the right to vote. Your vote counts. Those things, definitely we have jingles, we have adverts, on TVs, on radios, we have content on newspaper, education. So the most important thing is educating the public.
The public. All right, thank you for that. You just mentioned a very important aspect where politicians come to the media to make their acts known to the people, because the media has access to a lot of people. Now, how do we now separate objectivity and propaganda? Looking at the aspect of you want to advertise. And interestingly, when the day the campaign kicked off, and you must agree this with me,
September 28th.
Yes, when it kicked
officially
off, about 5 major newspapers in Nigeria had an advert of a particular political party. The same picture, the same name on about 5 or 6 major newspapers in Nigeria. Meaning that, okay, they are trying to make their political parties known and the candidates. Now, how do we now separate objectivity? How does the media separate not deceiving the people and the real information itself?
That's a very logical question anyway. But I'll take it from this angle. In the context of media, I'll travel to the media theories. There are theories when we talk about the framing theory and the agenda setting theory. Now, the framing theory has to do with how to make people understand and perceive the information you want to disseminate. The agenda setting theory is how effective, how you want the public to perceive the information you are disseminating. Now, let's come back to this part of the world. The media, you just mentioned about adverts. See, adverts is like the blood of every media organization, because that is where they generate their income from. Yeah. So whether you are placing an advert on one page, or except such advert is controversial, that is when a media organization will not affirm such advert. But if it's not, definitely they will bring it in. Now this is a political season. We'll definitely see series, dramas, political dramas everywhere. So when you're talking about objectivity here, the traditional platform is just so different from the online platform. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the online platform, the new media is not where reliable informations are not dispensed. But I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to say here is, you will agree with me that the new media has been congested with a lot of infodemic.
Yes.
Infodemic, yeah. Most importantly. You stumble on some information that are not true. But for you to confirm if that story is right or wrong, you definitely go back to the traditional platforms. Mm. The newspaper, the television, they will not tell you lies. They investigate before they air or dispense any form of information. Now, how they want you to perceive the information is how they have, they are putting the agenda into a setting that will get to you.
And the media play with people's mind.
See, it's not about playing with people's mind. No. Okay, let me say something to you. You are buying a newspaper now. You are seeing a cover page picture. Under the cover page picture, you are seeing an advert. Now, the picture and the advert. The adverts will sell to you. You know why? Maybe not directly, but you find the advert worthy. That if this advert can make through to a cover page, it's genuine. That is what they want you to perceive. The media can as well go and place the advert somewhere in the paper, probably page 50 or page 47.
But everybody checks the front page.
That is it.
You see people fighting at the newspaper stand at the vendors to look at the front
So the
page.
way they place, the media place, well, is about figure, it's about money, it's about how your demand and your purchasing power.
That's exactly.
If you can place the adverts where you think it can be positioned, definitely it will work. But trust me, every media organization, in every media content dispensation, there's always framing and agenda setting.
Okay, so let's look at this popular saying that he will dictate, he will place the piper dictates the tune. I pay you about 2 million naira to get it to your front page of your newspaper, and you sell over 200,000 of copies of this newspaper, circulated across cities, across towns. Wouldn't I have one way or the other is say to what you do, connecting to gatekeeping? Friends with the media owners, with the politicians, let's bring this together. Won't I have to say one way or the other? If you see stories that may quote and unquote tarnish my image, would you still be able to publish it? Would you still talk about it? Remembering that I paid about 2 million naira to get to your front page of your newspaper.
Well, I don't know where you are driving at, but I'll answer your question like this. Media organization does not tarnish image. Although they can make a mark. Now, if you think because you place an advert of 2 million naira or more for cover page, then you can misbehave in public, and you feel the media will kill the story, you are wrong. Pay any media 15 million naira to get to cover page. If EFCC declare you wanted, it will be published. That is how it works. So I don't know what the person. Well, maybe if that person is the owner of the particular media organization you are referring to,
Okay.
you may decide not to pick a story. But what about other media organizations? Definitely they will. So I don't believe in the concept of because you've okay, wait. I own a newspaper organization. For every space in that newspaper, there's a fixed price. They came to me and you told me that, oh, you want to get to the cover page and you are paying me 20 million naira. As a businessman, I will accept the money.
Definitely, as a business.
Now, I delivered. The next day, oh, this is Bolawa on the cover page. Accepted. Nice one. And in the next minute, EFCC declare you. I'll write the story too.
Wow.
I'll write the story. That is where balance and objectivity erupt.
Okay, so apologies again for the word tarnish that I used earlier. I was just trying to say that sometimes we may, as humans, although journalists we are not meant to be emotional, as it were, we are meant to just think cynically. But I'm just trying to say that humanly, you may want to. Let's talk about gatekeeping, for Christ's sake, Ayodeji. Let's talk about gatekeeping. Let's talk about we both know the theories of these things, but in practical terms, we have seen owners of some media organizations eat with politicians. They say there's no there are frenemies. There's no enemy forever in the political scene. Now, looking at gatekeeping, friends with owners of the media, media's trying to place. I can't remember the theory we learned. Conferring status, yes, conferring status on individuals, people like that. Now, can this affect objectivity? Can this affect the production of news? Friends with the media, determining stories that go out, gatekeeping especially, can it affect the flow of information?
When I was given a provisional admission into the Nigerian Institute of Journalism many years ago, the provost then was Dr. Elizabeth Nkem. During her familiarization speech, she said something. She said two things. She said, when dog bites a man, it is not news. But when man bites a dog, it is news. She said another thing. She said, there are many ways to call someone a thief without using the word thief.
Correct.
Now, before you get to that point, you must have mastered the art of English language. Know how to use words appropriately. When you talk about gatekeeping is essential. With a decade and one in journalism today, I can tell you that gatekeeping is very essential to journalism. I'll share an experience with you. I wrote a story, it's online, about misdiagnosis. Somebody was misdiagnosed. I don't know if she's late now or alive. She had breast cancer. But she went to a public facility, health facility, definitely one of the hospitals in Lagos, general hospitals in Lagos, and she was misdiagnosed for fibrotic growth. The day I met the woman, the consultant that was there told me that the woman would die because the cancer is at the highest stage. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. That the only thing they can do for her is palliative treatment, just to take care of her so she won't feel the pain. And I felt bad. That how is it possible that someone living was told that you will die?
Wow. Straight to the person.
For 2 days, I could not write the story. The day I picked up my pen to write that story, I wrote a lot of things. I mentioned the hospital. I mentioned the doctors, according to her, she mentioned. But do you know such names should actually not, you don't need to mention such names, except those names and hospital are properly investigated.
Okay.
Now, when the story got to my editor's table, she edited those names out and said, go and investigate. What she did there is called gatekeeping. Maybe what has been projected, that we have religious issues, crisis in Nigeria. Journalists get somewhere, and I discovered that 2 religions are having crisis or they're having a clash. And probably one religion killed another. I can't go to my board or to my paper and write one religion kill one religion. It may trigger further crisis. Because once they reach such story, the other religion may want to retaliate from wherever they are.
Yes.
So what I need to do is report such information or such crisis, but there's something they won't teach you in the 4 walls of the classroom until you start practicing. It's called information management. It is when you start having experience, you know how to manage information. At that point, I actually need to report such information, but I need to be careful the way I need to, to report such information. Me doing that is an act of gatekeeping. I don't know if you understand.
Very well.
Now, coming to the political scene, if any information about any politician will tarnish the image of my organization, I won't do that.
Okay.
Don't forget that the media report. The only place, especially in newspaper, that you see media take stands in is during editorials. When you open the pages of newspaper, you see editorial.
Yeah.
That's the media organization stand itself, the voice of the organization. But go and read every story. You will never see any content saying so person did this. They'll say according to. You are reporting. So by so doing, you should also be careful on the kind of, okay, let's do it this way. I want to say somebody is dead now. Or maybe I'm not sure. Where is this person? Is he dead? And I write my headline, so person is dead. Normally, if I'm not sure, what should follow that headline is a question mark. If I fail to add that question mark, it may put me and the organization in trouble. Who knows that person if that person I'm talking about has he has a lot of people that he's feeding. And once they see the story, cardiac arrest, and most of them will die. You understand? So
Very well.
you can't be a journalist when you see them introducing a journalist and they're using the word wordsmith. You must know how to use your words properly when writing. So when you talk about gatekeeping, but nobody would gatekeep anything that knows that will tarnish the image of the organization. I'll say it. Nowhere.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, we'll go on a short break right now. Let's just bring in some money. Of course, just some adverts. We'll be right back. Yes, sir. Don't go nowhere. Yes, it is still The Point Man with Pelumi Bolawa Solomon.
Admission into Nigerian Institute of Journalism, full-time and part-time national diploma, higher national diploma, and postgraduate diploma program for 2022-23 academic session is on. Suitable qualified candidates should visit www.nij.edu.ng, check portal and click the link Admission. Fill the online form and pay the required fee for the application or call 0805 919 6459 0805-919-6459. NIJ, Center for Communication Excellence. Excellence.
But the only thing there is that the only government to restructure the police force from the grassroots.
Nigeria has many millions of graduates on the street working aimlessly.
Considering the height of insecurity in Nigeria, considering the height of the downfall in the educational system, now is the time for Nigerians to rise up and speak up. Now is the time for Nigerians to take the bull by the horn. On the Point Man Show, we'll be looking at issues concerning economy, society, and politics in Nigeria. Of course, the grassroots development can never be overemphasized. Join us on the Point Man Show with Pelumi Bolawa.
You're welcome back. It is still The Point Man with Pelumi Bolawa Solomon with Ayodeji Ake right here. He's a media consultant.
No, I think you're getting that point. Ake, you're not getting
Ake, yes. Ake, yes, he's a media consultant and a journalist at that. Yes, he is a good writer. He speaks with his pen. Yes, he speaks with a pen and the energy of his veins. It's good to have you again, Ayodeji Ake.
It's been fun all the way.
Okay, so let's talk about this very, very importantly. This is an era where this is quite important. Poverty in the land, issues of vote buying, Ekiti election, Osun election. We've got some information that okay, some people were paid prior the election voting. What will the media do? Or what should the media do when you begin to see or witness issues like this when it comes to vote buying?
Practically, the media should be concise and the media should be able to project any form of illegality. The media should be able to, to project any form of manipulation whatsoever. But you can't scrape problem from the top. You start from the down, from the bottom. And this is it. The ethics of my profession says that every journalist must abstain from partisan politics. Now, not because they don't have rights to be in politics or whatsoever, but because when you start taking side, it affects your story balance and objectivity. But let me put it to you. Do you know how many journalists that are SA media and media PAs to some of these top politicians? If you're a candidate of a party and you have a journalist and essay to the media, and the journalist is my friend, and he's sending me a story, will I down the story or I'll let the story go?
Of course you'll be down.
My friend, and money is involved. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yes, I do.
Now let me come to your question. I've given the foundation. Some points you mentioned poverty, you've mentioned vote buying. So I'll take it from vote buying and I'll go to poverty. You see, there are a lot of campaigns that, no, vote buying, you shouldn't pay for, why are you buying votes, why are you doing this, why are you doing that? But even if the media is present, seeing all these things, which is what I was telling you about, information management and the elite power. If you check around now, look at all the media organizations we have. You have some big wigs, who has shares in those media organizations or who are friends to the publisher, and if probably the vote buying scandal is on them, with such story or with such video be projected. And that is why we have a lot of stories on new media. The advent of the new media have shaping the style. They know when it gets to traditional media, it may not be here. Okay, let's do it. And you see everybody picked up their phone, short video, send. This, send. This, send. And that's how it is. So, if you are saying vote buying, the media role, normally, practically, the media should project. The projection of such acts is just to put an end to it. Now, you can't eradicate totally, but at least to reduce to the barest minimum. That's the concept. But are they really going to do that? What if the reporter or the correspondent on the field of the event, was able to capture such scandalous, act, and he gets to the newsroom and please let me project that. Then a gas friend, calm down. Oh no, don't you know this person? Calm down. Two things involved. But practically, the media should project. Now, you mentioned poverty. You see, I've said this in the past and I'm saying it again. I see no democracy when politicians see poverty as tool to control the mass. I did a story one time. I went around some social sports. I met with some people, and somebody's story actually touched me. The man works as a driver, earns 50,000 rand monthly, and has 3 kids. Me and you can say what's renting an apartment. He lives in a one room apartment, but me and you can say what's renting an apartment in Lagos means. Not funny. You need money.
Yes.
Inside his 50,000 rand salary, you feed his 3 kids. They will go to school. You feed his wife. Pay house rents. He wants to look good. And everybody.
He has
Festive
families,
period.
other extended families too.
Extended families from his side, from his wife's side. He wants to do this, wants to give the man. And the money is not there. 50,000 rand. Can 50,000 rand be enough to do all those things? Obviously, no. And some politicians are coming to say, "What? I'll give you 50,000 rand. Just to do this. 50,000 rand.
That's one thing.
I'll do this." That's the concept of poverty in election. Nigerians are suffering. I don't know if you are going to take this. Nigerians are really, 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 really suffering.
That's the idea. That's the reality.
It's a reality. It's not idea. It's reality. Nigerians are suffering. Go and do your investigation. Go to the field and see. They are suffering. Inflation everywhere. There's no money. You can't run a business. See, guy, I'm sorry to use that word, but bro, go and set up a business and see if that business can survive 3 months. It's not working. People are suffering. And at the midst of them suffering, I asked my friends that these loan apps, where exactly are they seeing the money that they are borrowing? Somebody does not have money. Somebody does not have money.
You borrow him.
You borrow the person money. After 48 hours, you're already painting the person blue, red everywhere.
Yeah.
How do you expect the person to pay back?
We all live in the same economy.
You understand?
Yeah, I get that.
A very funny rates. So Nigerians are suffering. So if There's one Yoruba adage that say, "Ebi o ki n wonu keyan tun gboro mi."
Yeah.
No, means you can't be hungry and somebody will tell you something you assimilate. You can't assimilate.
Where do we go then? What exactly is the way out? Let's quickly touch that.
See,
what exactly?
The way out is broad.
Okay.
The way out is broad. I wrote something recently, and a lot of people called me like, "Oh, you're always ranting on social media." I was trying to project the 20.05 trillion naira 2023 budget Buhari just presented, and I said, "See, this budget is more or less like a devil in the details." Now, we have issues. We have subsidy issues running everywhere. Subsidy now is now running close to 4 trillion naira or more, or thereabouts. Now, the last budget was 16.7 or something like, I'm not sure, between those two figures. The 2022 budget, we ran into deficits. The country was borrowing. And now, we are still even borrowing, not worse. We are still borrowing. Now, they just presented the budget of 20.05 trillion budget, and some financial experts are saying, no, in fact, it's not even financial. They're already saying that they want to subsidy, remove subsidy. Everybody should be paying. Definitely, if they remove subsidy, the remove subsidy will be buying fuel at the rate of, God knows, maybe 400 or 600 in the near future. But no wahala. So now, what we are saying now is, with that budget, if we fail to remove subsidy, that means we are still going to run over 12 trillion naira deficit, which is even above half of the 2005 trillion naira budget.
So that means we are still going sustaining the country on debt.
So we are still going to borrow to sustain the 2023 budget. Now, if they remove the subsidy, definitely the budgets will sustain less deficit. It's not as if there won't be deficit. We'll sustain less deficit. But even at that, we are still borrowing. Nigeria will be borrowing, and Nigerians will be suffering. It's just common sense theory. Now, I saw somebody was saying something one day. I said, see, and I told the person, I said, let me even say this. The British colonized Nigeria. Go to UK today. They are running a parliamentary system of government. The UK that colonized us, the British that colonized us, they are running a parliamentary system of government. You don't have anything, you are running a federal system of government. And where do you see the money? How are you getting that money from? Where are you seeing the money? You just need to cut costs. What are they doing? Senate, National Assembly, what are they doing? Collapse the two into one.
Devolution of power, I guess.
I don't get that.
Maybe devolution of power.
No, we don't need that. You can't be comparing yourself to the US. You can't be comparing yourself to the UK. These people are ahead of us. In classification, Nigeria is a developing country, not a developed country. Yes, we are getting there, but to maintain what you have, you have to cut your material according to your size.
So the issue of poverty, now addressing it, is from the top, right?
See, it's from the top. One, they need to cut costs. You can't be spending money on one politician that will be sitting in the Senate House or National Assembly that will be saying they are making laws, they are doing this, they are doing that. At the end of the day, they have PAs, they have allowances, they have. Go and Google search how much are the allowances every month and the salary. You can't even withstand it. So you need to cut costs. When you cut costs, you know what you are doing with your money. Yes, I understand the concept of PPP, public-private partnership. The government can't do everything, and I understand. But there are some important things that you can't just cut the government out of it. How many of these PPP are they doing? Yeah, they are doing a lot, but to what effect? I can't run a private organization, want to partner with the government, and at the end of the day, I'll be running debt. Some people see PPP as a way of we know the government. Let's do the things we need to run. So how long are you monitoring all these things? So their problem. One, let them cut costs. When you cut costs, then you know the way forward. It's when you cut costs, you have money in your pocket that you can say, okay, you want to do these things. Let them stop that at first. That's it for me.
All right, that's it. You've had it all. Cutting costs would be the first step of many steps that should be taken to address the issues of poverty in Nigeria. At some time, the former Prime Minister of Britain called Nigeria the capital of poverty. We don't want that story. We want to change the narrative. And this is the election period. Let us vote wisely. Yes, The leaders that will solve economic problem. Yes, Nigeria is on debt. We are on huge debt. Trillions of dollars. We are on huge debt. We just hope that someday we will come out of this mess. And that is it on this edition of The Point Man. And don't forget, today's session was a wonderful session with a media consultant and a journalist, all-round journalist at that, Ayodeji Ake. Yes.
Okay, you got that one right.
Ayodeji Ake. And it is good to have you. Thank you so much for your time, Ayodeji.
No, thanks,
we hope that someday, somehow, when we call you again, The Point Man, you will oblige to our call. It is good to have you. We say at this point, au revoir, bye-bye.
But the only thing there is that the only government to restructure the police force from the grassroots.
Nigeria has many millions of graduates on the street working aimlessly.
Considering the height of insecurity in Nigeria, considering the height of the downfall in the educational system, now is the time for Nigerians to rise up and speak up. Now is the time for Nigerians to take the bull by the horn. On the Point Man Show, we'll be looking at issues concerning economy, society, and politics in Nigeria. Of course, the grassroots development can never be overemphasized. Join us on the Point Man Show with Pelumi Bolawa.